Okay, so here we are. Welcome to the shed.
Thank you.
I'm talking to Anthony here. So firstly, how would you solve the traffic problem in Streatham?
There's not a whole lot you could do, really, except probably divert it to some other road.
So just get rid of the road completely, go around Streatham.
Well, I mean, my biggest concern about this high road is the fact that they actually cars drive too fast. They treat it like it's a dual carriageway. So I'd like to see speed cameras put on the high road.
Driving in Streatham can be a bit of a nightmare, like going up the high road. Just that stretch from here to St Leonard's Church.
Yeah.
This particular road, the Streatham High Road, is the longest high road in Europe.
Right.
So, I mean, you wouldn't be able to do a whole lot with it, I don't think.
In terms of the traffic flow, there are always congestions here.
Okay.
And this has negative impacts both in terms of the movement of the people and also in terms of the sometimes health and safety.
I certainly think making bike lanes better, because I cycle and it's a nightmare and it's scary and dangerous.
Parking is definitely one of the cruxes of the problem, because there's no way, you know, if somebody's driving through Streatham and they want to stop, there's nowhere for them to stop.
So we miss out, you see, because we don't get the Brixton transport, we don't get the Croydon transport, we're sort of stuck.
Close the road maybe?
I think we'll wait for that.
That's very typical to Streatham.
The other thing is they've always talked about bringing the tube out to Streatham, but they never do.
And what would you consider to be the best thing about Streatham?
I think the Common is amazing. The Rookery, which is a hidden kind of place that not many people know about.
Probably the park and like swimming.
And down Streatham Hill, I absolutely love it, because you walk down the high road, you know the newsagents, they recognise you, and I think it's a real good community spirit down here.
And there's lots of stuff to do for babies.
Go-karting, swimming, ice skating and parks where you can just chill out in it.
Not a lot really.
Okay, but you've lived here 20 years.
I've lived here 20 years and I've seen it really go downhill.
In what respect?
Well, the minute they took the quality shops out like Pratt's that used to be further up the road, this area just died.
Right.
And back in those days when I first came to live in the area, Streatham was absolutely heaving.
I think the people actually, I do get the impression there's a real strong community spirit.
Yeah.
And I think people don't get credit for that. You know, people don't think that Streatham would have that kind of a villagey feel, but I think it does.
It's like there's lots of centres where you can have fun and play with your friends, and there's like a big park and a common where there's lots of places for like loads of people to have fun.
I actually really like the architecture in Streatham. I think it's quite a beautiful place. If you really stop and look, don't look at all the traffic stuff. If you look up a bit and look at the buildings and see, and the parks and everything, we've got some nice provisions. There's some nice places.
And what would you say is the worst thing about Streatham?
Noise and litter.
There's lots of people moving in who are young couples like me who, you know, at some point start a family.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to buy things in the local area. We don't want to have to go elsewhere.
Maybe like some more shops around, like there's loads of like food shops, but nothing much else.
A few disabled toilets might be nice.
It's just got loads of like scummy parts, you know. I mean, it's also got a very bad perception, and I think that's what we need to try and do is change that perception. That, oh, you're from Streatham, it's not a very good area, but actually, you know, if you come down to Streatham and you realise what we've got, I think you know, you see like, you know, once this was all done, I think it will give people a really good impression.
Probably like people hanging around and like teenagers like being scared to go out because of other like teenagers out there that like want to take your stuff and stuff. Sometimes there's lots of fighting and you see people keep on fighting, so basically someone can get hurt while if they're not doing it or one not doing it.
So I would like to see more art-based galleries and like that.
Yeah.
So that the quality of life could be raised.
Something?
I'd like to see a few more sort of nice kind of cafes and galleries and things like that, and maybe a
bit of culture.
Yeah, a little bit of culture. I mean, pound shops are all well and good for a bargain, but they're not really enlightening in any way.
I'd really like some of the projects that they've actually already mentioned, separating and doing different things to different parts of it, to actually happen. Exactly, amazing. I mean, I live down by the Common, and you're supposed to be having the new ice skating rink and swimming pool and that whole development. I wish they would just start it. I really do.
And finally, any ideas on how Streatham could become more of a community?
I think there are areas of community. For example, my son went to a local primary school, so there's a community based around that.
Yeah.
And I play in a ladies' football team, and a lot of those people live in the area around Ferrers Road, and a lot of the mothers go to Woodmanston, their kids go to Woodmanston Primary School, so there's a bit of a community there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've obviously stayed here for this long, so
yeah, and I guess the church I go to, there's a community there as well.
Yeah.
There's lots of different groups doing different things, street parties and things for the festival and arts groups and stuff, but they're not at the moment as linked together as they could be.
Okay.
So it'd be good if there was like a website, or I don't know, just something that was really well publicised, that people who were involved with the community could all come together and show off what they were doing, really, and get help from other areas and stuff
more
like
an
that.
online community for Streatham.
Yeah.
Do you know, I still think that there's a bit of a division between young people, teenagers, and older people. I think through kind of a little bit of misrepresentation and that kind of thing.
Part of the young people or part of the old people?
Both, really.
Both misrepresentation.
But I would like to see more projects that sort of link up. We'd say, for example, like older people supporting young people, improving their literacy skills, that kind of thing. Like more of those kind of education projects and things that people can share their experiences. But there's a lot of things just starting to happen here, I think. And I think that a lot of local projects are starting to get recognition, which is great.
I would like to bring the attention of Streatham has been attracting many people from the newly arrived communities, particularly from Poland, Somalis, and usually they are not part of the. They're not actively part of the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's lovely. It's such a mixture of people in Streatham. I mean, that's its joy, really.